Journey of Transcending Time and Space. Xiefeng. July 26, 2013. Warning. This article is only suitable for those who have lived in the Lifechanyuan second home, a Lifechanyuan created communist community, for more than 2 years. It is intended for those who have completely severed ties with the secular world, passed through the degree labor test plus or minus repaid all debts accumulated from previous lifetimes, and accrued enough merits. Additionally, it is only for those who have not fallen into emotional entanglements with others in the community. For the rest of the Lifechanyuan members, it is crucial to follow a step-by-step process. The focus of their practice should be on cutting off worldly attachments, repaying debts, accumulating merits, and perfecting their soul garden, not on pursuing the journey of transcending time and space. Anyone else reading this article should treat it as mere information and should absolutely not believe in its authenticity. I have fabricated everything here, so do not take it seriously. Especially, do not attempt to follow its content in your practice, as doing so will inevitably lead to an imbalance in your life, causing you to lose focus and possibly fall into dangerous delusions. Preface. The cold gives way to heat, seasons alternate, flowers bloom and wither, and the world transforms through the ages. Birth, aging, sickness, and death follow, things grow, decline, form, and dissolve. Prosperity and decay follow one another in an endless cycle, as the universe plays out its eternal symphony of reincarnation. Everything rises and falls in time and space, struggling, sighing, and ultimately succumbing to the passage of time. Like the falling flower, all turns to emptiness in the end. Time drives us to age, and the years bury our youth. Like flowers swept away by flowing water, spring departs, leaving nothing but melancholy and endless longing. The path to heaven is distant, separated by countless mountains. A fleeting moment of beauty disappears in an instant, leaving us lamenting at the edge of the world. But then, as the road twists and turns, we find light amid the shadows. When time ceases and space disappears, the mind follows consciousness, and reality transforms according to the mind. In the blink of an eye, 100,000 light-years pass, mountains and obstacles shrink to the size of sand grains. The infinite beauty of the world stretches out beyond description, filled with boundless wonders in emptiness, spirit, and grace. We live in harmony with heaven and earth, sharing the same longevity as the sun and moon, shining together, singing with orioles and dancing with swallows, soaring alongside swans and cranes, basking in endless bliss and joy. 1 year in the human world, 1 day for me. Time is different in every place and space. The time on the moon is not the same as on Earth, just as the time for those living on the first floor differs from those living on the 20th floor. The saying, degree 1 day in heaven equals 1 year on Earth, plus or minus holds truth. Time varies depending on how people or things operate. 24 hours a day is only a conventional measure. For some, the length of a day may be more or less than 24 hours. Walking eastward, the length of each day decreases, walking westward, it increases. The faster you walk eastward, the shorter the day, and the faster you walk westward, the longer the day. If you walk eastward at a speed of 465 meters per second, your day would be 12 hours long. If you walk westward at half the speed of Earth's rotation, 233 meters per second, your day would be 48 hours. If you were to run westward at 465 meters per second, the concept of a day would no longer exist. If you run eastward at 99/365 the speed of Earth's rotation, 465 meters per second, a year of running becomes a single day. Running westward at the same speed makes a year stretch into 36,135 days. If you run at a speed of 300,000 kilometers per second, regardless of whether you go east or west, time disappears entirely. The conclusion is that time is related to the speed at which matter moves. Time is not fixed, it can lengthen, shorten, or even become infinite or disappear. What this means for humans is that if we live according to conventional routines on Earth, we are inevitably doomed to die. However, if we break free from conventional living, we can transcend the constraints of space and time. The farther from the center, the greater the space. The Earth's equator is the longest, while the poles are the shortest. People living at the equator need to travel 40,000 kilometers to circle the Earth, while those at the poles only need to spin around their own axis, covering less than 1 meter. However, whether you circle 40,000 kilometers or just 1 meter, the time taken is the same. If you draw a large circle with many people standing inside it, and the circle rotates, you will find that in the same time period, those closer to the center travel a shorter distance, while those farther from the center travel a longer distance. This means that within the same time, the closer you are to the center, the smaller the space, and the easier life becomes. The farther you are from the center, the larger the space, and the more exhausting it becomes. How to achieve immortality? Scientific exploration has discovered that human cells divide 50 times in a lifetime, with each division cycle lasting 2.4 years. This results in a natural lifespan of 120 years, just like how a day on Earth is 24 hours. However, if the cell division cycle could be extended, human life could also be extended indefinitely. But how can we extend this cycle? Since running eastward shortens time and running westward lengthens it, the 24-hour day can be altered. If we can change the activity time of cells, the division cycle will no longer be 2.4 years, but could become 1 year, 10 years, or even an indefinite period. Once we break the cell's activity pattern, the length of human life will change, and achieving immortality will be possible. Different environments, different life cycles. I once worked in the Chilean mountains at an altitude of nearly 4,000 meters for a year and noticed an interesting phenomenon: the higher the altitude, the shorter the growth cycle of the same type of plants. There is no doubt that the environment in which life exists can alter its lifespan. The harsher the living environment, the longer time seems to stretch, and life feels like degree enduring days as if they were years. Plus or minus Wu Zixu's hair turned white overnight when he passed through the ZH unspecified currency O pass in a state of anxiety. Conversely, the more favorable the living environment, the shorter time seems to become, like the saying, a day in heaven, a year on earth. Lifespan is related to mindset. When a person is extremely angry, their metabolism accelerates, and they age rapidly. The more frequently one gets angry, the faster they age. Similarly, people who are selfish, jealous, resentful, anxious, fearful, worried, negative, and pessimistic age quickly. In contrast, those who are calm, peaceful, joyful, happy, positive, and optimistic age more slowly. Celestial beings and Buddhas live long lives, while humans live short lives because their mindsets are entirely different. Turning certainties into variables. Everything in the universe follows a fixed pattern: pregnancy lasts 10 months, and birth occurs in a single day. The seasonal cycle, spring, rain, awakening of insects, and the vernal equinox unfolds in its time. From infancy, childhood, adolescence, youth, to old age, the seasons of life arrive as expected. A year has 365 days, a day has 24 hours. Flowers bloom and wither, tides rise and fall. These are governed by set movement patterns, or what we call time. When these patterns change, time changes, and when time changes, certainties become variables. The clock that controls cell division is the telomere. With each division, the telomere shortens. When it can no longer shorten, the cell stops dividing, and life in that cell ceases. Our task is to prevent telomeres from shortening further. If all cells behaved like cancer cells, human life could last as long as the sun and moon, allowing us to transcend time and space in our current form. Nothing is impossible, only things that the mind has yet to comprehend. Changing the movement pattern alters certainties, changes fate, and transcends time and space. Inputting information to change movement. The hypothalamus regulates the human aging process. When the pituitary gland atrophies, the body ages rapidly. If we can rejuvenate the aging pituitary gland, we can restore the functions of the nervous, endocrine, and metabolic systems, delay joint and organ aging, and ultimately realize the dream of reversing aging and living forever. The atrophy of the pituitary gland is related to the information it receives. By changing the input, we can revitalize the gland. When a person encounters a joyful event, their spirit brightens. A joyful event is just a piece of information. A person in despair who receives this information can instantly dispel suicidal thoughts and recover their spirit, even returning from the brink of death. Conversely, continuous bad news can crush a person's will and spirit, leaving them lifeless. Food, medicine, and words are all forms of information. A conversation with a sage is worth 10 years of study. One conversation can be worth 10 years of study. This is a way of transcending time and space. Many people spend years chasing dreams and exploring, only to have everything clarified in a few words from someone wiser. The sea of bitterness has no bounds, turn your head to see the shore, and, searching for him thousands of times, I suddenly find him in the dim light that, plus or minus this leap beyond time and space shows that while many people toil their whole lives pursuing ideals and die with regrets, others achieve success effortlessly. The difference lies in their relationship with time and space. You take 10 years to accomplish something, while I complete the same task in 1 year, haven't I transcended 9 years of time and space? If someone meets an enlightened master, a celestial in human form, and listens to their teachings, they can transcend human limitations and enter celestial realms, transcending time and space. Restructuring. When structure changes, the essence of life changes. The processes of growth and decay shift, and life can be revitalized, transforming decay into magic. Restructuring means rearranging atoms. Bodily changes are essentially chemical reactions. Oxygen combines with copper to form copper oxide, oxygen combines with iron to form iron oxide. People who live with pigs may become like pigs, those who live with celestials may become like human celestials. The elements entering the body determine the chemical changes that occur. Poison kills, but an elixir grants immortality. Grafting pear branches onto an apple tree produces apple pears. Living in the same environment with the same people, culture, and diet, or remaining in the same mindset, prevents restructuring. Life requires constant change. A person thrives by moving, a tree dies by being transplanted. As long as there is change, there is life. Ask the canal how it stays so clear, because it is fed by a source of living water. Injecting living water into a pond keeps it clear and vibrant. Otherwise, it stagnates. Constant change is, in fact, a way to transcend time and space. Inertia is human nature, resisting change and clinging to the familiar. To restructure, we must overcome inertia. Enhancing vibrational frequency. The energy released by an atomic bomb is enough to destroy an entire city. If 100 kilograms of matter were completely converted into energy, it could turn the earth into a sea of fire. This energy comes from the vibration frequency of photons within atoms. The higher the vibration frequency, the greater the energy. People who only act when pushed, and stay motionless otherwise, have little energy. From the holographic perspective, a butterfly flapping its wings in Alaska can cause a storm at the Cape of Good Hope. This is vibration at work. The higher the frequency, the greater the impact. To raise our vibration frequency, we must sharpen our thinking. People who are too slow and dull find it hard to raise their frequency. Some people, when taught one thing, learn only that. Others, when taught one thing, think critically and learn several things. Some even deduce entire systems. This illustrates different vibrational frequencies. The purpose of raising the vibration frequency is not to increase energy but to achieve a seamless and rapid transcendence of time and space. From my experiences living in the second home, I have found that some brothers and sisters have a high vibration frequency, embodying the saying, hearts resonate with each other. Plus or minus they can adapt and live gracefully, freely, and effortlessly in the home in a very short time. Holographic management is quickly realized among these individuals. Conversely, some people have a vibration frequency that is too low. Despite my repeated explanations of many concepts, they still cannot grasp them. They struggle with very simple things, such as, don't interfere with others' hearts or manage others' affairs, strive for excellence in everything, and, if others do not seek my help, I will not assist them. Such simple principles, such simple tasks. Yet they still cannot accomplish them. As a result, guiding them is exhausting, making it impossible to transcend time and space. The future is determined by the present. What can transcend time and space and move freely within infinity? The answer is thought. Thought is the spark of consciousness. The universe is one, and it operates holographically, meaning a single thought can penetrate the entire universe. Everything in the present is shaped by past thoughts, and the future is shaped by our current thoughts. Thoughts include visualization, which I emphasized in the chapter on visualized thinking. Therefore, everyone's current thoughts and intentions play a crucial role in shaping the future. Your thoughts must be beautiful to create a beautiful future. By continually releasing beautiful intentions, you can transcend time and space to create a continuous series of wonderful futures for yourself, effectively crafting an endless drama for your life. It is essential to guard against negative thoughts slipping out of your consciousness. Once a harmful thought escapes, trouble will follow. Transcending time and space to seize the future. Buddha said, the past mind cannot be grasped, the present mind cannot be grasped, and the future mind cannot be grasped. That, plus or minus this is wrong. Many believe the past is gone, and the future is out of reach, so we can only seize the present. This is a misunderstanding. Once you transcend time and space, everything is within your control. The Tao is a synthesis of laws, principles, and operational processes. The universe is orderly because of the Tao. Without the Tao, there is no order. If one does not recognize the Tao, life and worldly affairs seem impermanent and chaotic. However, once one understands the Tao, everything appears orderly and harmonious. By considering the characteristics of a peach tree, if you plant a peach sapling in suitable soil, you can predict the size of the tree in 3 to 4 years. You can see the peaches that will grow on the tree, and in 3 to 4 years, you will be able to eat the peaches. This is how one grasps the future. The present can be grasped, it can only be experienced. Only the future can be seized. If you want to determine how you will live years, decades, centuries, or even millions of years from now, you must seize it now. Don't wait until the future to act, it will be too late. The past is an illusion, the present is fixed, but the future is real. Whether you can see it depends on whether your Dharma eye or Buddha eye is open. Once you understand this, you can grasp the future now and see it as clearly as if it were happening before you. Unsurpassable time and space. While time and space can be transcended, not all aspects of them can be. If you exceed the speed of light, you may enter the future or return to the past. Sometimes, in dreams, we can visit the future or revisit the past. But can someone travel back in time before they were born and kill their mother, thereby preventing their own birth? Or can you travel back to when your mother was 1 year old and kill her, thus stopping your arrival in this world? This creates a paradox. If someone could transcend time and space and go back to kill the girl destined to be their mother, then they would not be born on earth. Since they have already killed the girl, they themselves would not exist. But then, who traveled back in time to kill their mother? The conclusion is that this paradox does not exist. Some aspects of time and space cannot be transcended. One cannot go back in time and kill their yet-to-be-born mother. Time and space are not illusions. Time is merely a concept, a symbol to describe the state of an object's movement. However, once we define the movement of matter as time, it is born, it is no longer an illusion. Space describes the relative distance between matter or between non-material and non-material entities. Since the universe is made of matter and non-material elements, space absolutely exists. It is not an illusion. Ignoring the existence of time and space makes it impossible to transcend them. Only by confronting time and space, not imagining them to be illusions, can we hope to surpass them. It's like wanting to cross a river. First, you must face the turbulent current. Then, you either learn to swim, build a raft, or construct a bridge to cross the river. If you imagine the river doesn't exist and is just an illusion, you will not only fail to cross it, but you may also be swept away or even drown. Conclusion. Transcending time and space is a highly complex matter. Aspiring to degree escape the three realms, transcend the five elements plus or minus, and degree break free from the boundaries of heaven and earth plus or minus is beyond the reach of ordinary people. It cannot be accomplished through imagination, nor can it be achieved by practicing certain exercises, gong, taking specific medications, receiving energy, or retreating into meditation. This is a vast and intricate system. Idealists are bound to fail, and materialists stand no chance. Only through holographic thinking and holographic methods can one hope to embark on the path of transcending time and space. In fact, the predecessor of Lifechanyuan was called The Journey of Transcending Time and Space. As the guide, I am leading everyone along this path. It's impossible to explain how to transcend time and space through words, just as it's impossible to teach someone to swim through words alone. You must enter the water to have any hope of learning. Similarly, you cannot transcend time and space merely by reading the Lifechanyuan corpus or the Xiefeng corpus. Sporadic guidance and explanations from this text alone won't suffice. You must enter the second home. Even then, it's not guaranteed that you will transcend time and space. You must walk the path outlined by the guide, step by step, with solid footing. Relying on talk, understanding, connections, emotions, or luck will not work. Even praising and glorifying the guide is futile. You yourself must become light, become love, become a Buddha, and become a celestial.